1, 2, 3, and off we go. So my name is Lerod Smalls, and this is Rise of the Black Warrior podcast. So I'm glad that you guys are tuning in today. I got something I want to share with you, and it's going to piggyback off of the last session that we had here in the podcast, a little bit about capacity. So we were talking about lions versus tigers and the capacity for lions to grow and be more powerful because they can use the rest of the pride, right? And that makes them out more powerful than a lone ranger. If you haven't seen that podcast, you should definitely go back and check out episode 2, where I dive deep into that. But branching off a little bit further and giving you guys some more conversational capacity, I'm going to break down the cycle of capacity from this space that many entrepreneurs find, many black men find themselves in, and that is the space of overwhelm. All right, now, so you can't see me if you're on the audio only podcast, but if you're on the video, you're watching, you're seeing my idea glasses, right? So what I have on my face are these plastic glasses that you can get from the movie theater. Like these little cheap, they're free when you go to the movies because they are the 3D glasses that they give you, right? So you go to movies, you get the glasses, and you watch the movie, and you could throw them out or you could recycle them, whatever. My son, years ago, had this idea that we're gonna keep the glasses, right? Because they make us look smart, and we can have great ideas with these glasses. So it was super cute. I thought it was smart. I thought it was a great idea. I kept the glasses. We punched out the lens. I keep them on my shelf. Now, I put these glasses on every once in a while when something powerful comes to me, right? And I get deep into it. I want to share this with you guys because you can use physical things in your environment to create a space for yourself. Now, when I'm overwhelmed, when I'm in a space where I feel that I'm not being powerful, I am not being creative, I can't get shit done, I reach on my shelf and I grab these little plastic glasses. They are a relic. It's a physical thing that embodies a certain amount of energy for me. And when I put these little plastic glasses on, it gives me the space that I remember the emotional connection with my son when he came up with this little idea. And I'm going to share with you in a second the cycle of capacity. But before that, I want you guys to get that you have to be in a space of openness and have good energy and be powerful in order to move and transition yourself, even to use what I'm going to share with you. Now, I'm going to also say that meditation is a great way to gather that type of energy, to clear your space, and then to be prepared to digest this tool that I'm going to give you and this understanding of what capacity is, how to gain more of it, and why you may be in this experience, right? This feeling of this thing called overwhelmed. Now, what is this thing called overwhelmed? All right, I mean, you've been there. Everybody's been there. Yo, I got too much going on. A lot going on. Too much shit to handle, all right? I got way more tasks than I feel like I got time. I mean, if I had to boil it all down, that's really what it is. I got more stuff to do than I feel like I got time to do, or I'm too tired and I don't have any more energy. Once you're in a space of lack of resources in order to accomplish, you overwhelmed. Now, some people are overwhelmed for a short period of time. Some people get stuck in it. But the next thing that most people do when they're in that space is they go to sedation. Big ass word for I am going to have a drink. I am going to go and eat. I am going to go hang out with the boys. I'm going to play video games. I'm going to do anything else but focus on the things that got me in this feeling of overwhelmed. The thing that I should be doing to actually reduce the amount of pressure, to go head on and solve the problems that's in front of me. No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ostracize, I'm gonna put my head in the sand, try my best to not focus on it because my energy My spirit is in this space called overwhelm. That's a dark space. And I'm going to tell you that if you allow yourself to stay in it long enough, you can almost get overtaken by it and can't figure out how to get yourself back out. So it's important that whenever you're in that space, you realize where you are and immediately start taking action to get back and out of that space. I share this story about Moses all the time for people who are in that space, because people feel like they're lost when they're in that space. It's like when Moses was in the wilderness. And if you guys remember that story, he was wandering around for 40 years like as if they were lost. But to God, to anybody who's looking down, they weren't lost. They were in a space and they were just going around in this circle of space. Now, if they could see themselves, they would have known, hey, I'm not lost. I just got to go over there. See, to somebody else who's looking at your life and your situation, they'll look from the outside and say, hey, listen, I see exactly where you are. But the thing is, you can't see yourself. You can't see the picture when you're in the frame. And if you could see yourself, you wouldn't need a mirror, right? We use mirrors because they're physical things so that we can see ourselves, see our situation, see where we at in our world. So you're in the space of overwhelm, but somebody else that's looking at you is saying, yo, man, you probably in a good space. I see you got a lot of good things going on. You just can't see how to get out of it, but I can see it for you. So I want to talk to you guys about it. When you're in that space, I want you to realize that you're at the top of something. You may be feeling like hey, it's too much and you're going down, but you're really not. The reason why you're overwhelmed is because you have gone up to the top. You have reached this jar, right? If it was a jar, yourself was a jar, you have filled up the container, that jar, to the top. And you feel like you can't put anything else into it. Now, how did stuff get into it? Stuff got into it because of your commitments. You were committed. So now if you can imagine a circle, I'm going to give you a circle right now. And I want you to kind of imagine this circle. You have these commitments and these tasks, right? And that's part one. Then you start to fill your container, right? You're filling your container with these tasks. You're moving this, right? You've got your tasks and you're filling up this bottle or this container with your tasks. Okay, with all this stuff. And as I fill it up, it reaches the top. I can't do any more. I'm done. But what happens when you decide to be a champion? When you decide to be king? When there's nobody else to go to? When you are not going to take no for an answer, when you're going to dive in deep, when you're going to go past what you thought was possible. See, that's when you break through the ceiling, to take the top off the lid, and you get a new container. You don't upgrade the container. You don't take a jar and we're going to duct tape some edges around it and make the container bigger. No, you just get rid of that container and you get a new container. That's what being a king is about. See, here in this tribe, what we're talking about in Rise of the Black Warrior, the whole thing is about being new. It's never about upgrading and being better. See, once you reach the top of your capacity, we're not going to upgrade the container. We're just going to get rid of that container and get a new one. You have to become somebody new. And when you become somebody new, you get a new size container that can hold more stuff. You now have broken through that space of who you were before that had a limit. See, the limit that you had before is not capable of holding where you're going. It was not capable. So now you've got this new container because you've seen that you could do more than you thought was possible because you did it. It's like when Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile and now it became possible. It became possible to you, to everybody around you, to my children. See, when I was 41 years old and last year, and I decided that I was going to get into jiu-jitsu, and with no experience at all, I basically took on the task of becoming a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Now, I can tell you this, that wasn't easy. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was going to be possible for me to win my first tournament when I enrolled after only being a part of jiu-jitsu for 3 months. But because I took it on, I won. And not only did I win my first match. I won all of the matches and I took home the gold. Then I said 2 weeks later, hey, listen, if I did it, maybe I could do it again. But who knows if I'll win, but I'll try. And I had my children with me and my wife with me, and we went to this event and I won again. Now, fast forward 6 months later, I have 7 gold medals, 16-0, undefeated in jiu-jitsu. Now, what does that mean? I'm not here to brag about jiu-jitsu. I'm here to tell you that I broke through what was possible for me. And not just for me, for my family, for my children, for the people in my gym, for people who just watch me online. You just get to see, hey, this is possible for this guy. He's 42 years old. My coach, he's always sending me these pictures of old man jiu-jitsu. It's an entire brand, where they're basically old guy jiu-jitsu. And I think it's cool. I think it's funny. Yes, I'm 42 years old. Yes, I'm the oldest guy in the gym. But I'm undefeated. And I do things that other people can't do because I just take them on. And then once they're done, I have increased my capacity. I am not an upgraded version of the man who walked into the gym. I am a totally new man. That's who I am. So now I share this with you because now you have an opportunity to get to the other side of this circle, this formula that I'm sharing with you. You take your commitments from the left side, you fill them into this container, which is right here in the middle. And then once you move from there, you move into expansion. So you've got commitments, you've got your capacity, and then you've got expansion. Expansion is the place where you have now grown and become something new. You are bigger than you were. But then you stop? No. In the circle, you circle back to commitments. You're just right back where you started. You're putting in new commitments. See, I haven't stopped. Now I'm committed to bigger things. Now I'm putting on more tasks. Now I'm going out for bigger goals. Now I'm doing more and more because, hey, I did this. Why can't I do more? And now I'm putting more into my capacity. I'm filling up my container with even more. And at some point, it's going to be full. And I'll have to break through and create a new container and become somebody else. Hey guys, listen, I hope you got something valuable from that. That is how I live my life. And I think that if you challenge it, if you challenge those concepts, you will see that that is how you create a being, a person capable of wielding the dreams that are in your head. See, they're too big for the person you are right now. Because as you grow into them, you're going to feel overwhelmed. But you don't have to stay there. Guys, I love you guys. I'm excited for you. I want you to know you are only one decision away from changing the world that you live in. All right, everybody. Peace.